Obibia akwa shonko so e aba Ghana Politics Avenue so yebesre obibia sesa afi eno obedwumadi Kissi we so like share subscribe to the channel no tane be ya political trending news bia eko bia no Ghana Politics Avenue so yen ene age penisi de bebre abedwafo ene yesonfo abusuafo ene yeko political highway no so na nsem bebre ene aso akote nsem ni bi ne sense see no Kissi Agyabeng ho nsem no ye Addo so do petition na dey say omo motro coin dey e fana Kissi Agyabeng ho asema it was written in the petition that Kissi Agyabeng Cecilia Daparh esika of fire Ghana fosika of fire odidwane no Kenny Kissi Agyabeng ene ma case no anye case a kele show na just one ma Cecilia Daparh ho antim anche na busuafo yem pese be say mo bebre yem pese ye beje mo bre so aboso yen na yenim ipan chi Edi abetudwa achichirim apansan pansem echirim ekwan a Kissi Agyabeng efa so case no wa ma no anye case a okele case no ebusuafo moma yenko na yemfa ya so ene ya ro enkonkuti nsem a okafa Kissi Agyabeng ene Cecilia Daparh case na o ma na answer no
uhia madwen no ani kosua no enhu ade ma. So I was listening to voices na mitie nkrofo ne let me take sound because say obi fa American pistol or trying to say so there will be a sound. We fa Russian pistol who cordon a strong what eti baby na me chani na I was listening to sound very attentive. Say a pump action, I'll take then I will know what to do. But I realized that I was like, really? First of all, pay attention to your environment. Every room, every street, every situation. Because national security for better creative Abraham artificial disturbance. National security for every Abraham. You better be shada be the day we have to pay also kwa na sun ka wo na you everywhere. Na ya catch us say a bullet na twetwam ni bi stray bullet na count. E wo nko an ye hwem. E wo nti na ye ba wo ba So, first of all, one, you need to pay attention to your environment. The room. Say a test to say I do kania. Let me know. Pay attention to the room. Number two, the street. Any probably to Akroma. Quite a fast to fie no. Onukura onim hohe. Police a presidential convoy be mami. Random. That means show defect. And look, from Akuffo's time this year, the presidential convoy in a problem. If you want to assassinate the president, it will take less than 3 minutes. You become president to be Akroma. I'm saying this on authority. Because there are a whole lot of lapses. A presidential convoy. The way the drivers drive, the intervals, the communication, the interceptions, the interjections, the interferences, and everything. When I sit back and I watch it, I can tell from afar. Say, no person dear president to be a from Akuffo, Mills, Mahama, Addo, Mahama, so Cecilia, Obedi Cecilia. Because it looks like we are not interested in hybrid warfare. It's the decades who call be friend of party who call be fear. First of all, a time our cotton baby, our cotton. Pay a particular attention to your environment. The room, the street. Say, Abraham, me kwasra madam fu bi na ne bu afu me mo me ma se me bu a me ma wo kata wani me gwa wa ye one say it's na say me ma no call yes me be the tidal reef the way am si gwa omo 1 no sa kwase ade na e call so ho no koy ne when the nim nyanso be jaya ne ba won call when na ye won ma boss sa kubolos na call ho ma o kata wani ni me gwa. Do you know what I was doing to them? That unexpected bullet, unexpected anything can happen to you. So you got to be aware. It's so quadruple baby room, street, situation. Me ba fear na wo bo ba and now bo yiri gidi me mabium because we a beast. That's the situation. Number 2, who could do a sorry there man? Man can send them in a jenkwa. And to Pentecost, I saw them what Belgium Mubutugui. We didn't tell Belgium by Muguye. Exit point to do so. By Yen Hano, the dear Diagro, baby, a some so big near Fano. Yet the Diagro, if you send in a boy a home by sister, my main can't someone show net. Say the watch now was only a bomb say pay. Can be more. Yami and you are doma, says I can. Yami on some bulletin. So you identify exits. Where you had it? Sound was here. Check it, did Check didn't was the way African to be. Me sure say either Zimbabwe. Check it. Number 1, identify
conditions of service as those of justice of the Superior Court, the Supreme Court, and Court of Appeal, and the High Court. And so their removal process. It is here that is the issue that Honorable President would have to act upon in consultation with Council of State and other institutions on which we are born as animal way also. Lucius, go much into it, but in the next 3 minutes, I mean, this is the petitioner. But what do you have to say on this?
Okay, with the every point. Yeah, I think says our petition started with one person be Blankson from Electoral Commission Honum. Yeah, man be na or Electoral Commission Honum. What you say? The suspended no kakra. Na the mabedi suspended no cry say na device TV ayira wo Electoral Commission hall.
Yeah. Mo de share no.
Ne be de share no.
Yeah.
Ne actually say the no ball as we be. Yeah. The common device no ba bibi. And you only started this whole issue say all petition president say we chairperson no need the 2 deputies you know. And recently I mean I think say enroach here but we say 7 petition.
Yes.
But 7 no only they no can hold 7 and I say a different from
well me sure no dey
anti 7 different petitions ne assign Akuffo president was a Benyi president and undry Benyi chairperson in free home. But yet now you say president no also or a guided what you say a constitution no any share no man ye say or ye BNT say or receive a petition be say only obi free home ma or the chairperson no any the 2 deputies na then na no constitution no say then ebo be ho ban what you say Enti se petition bisa eba the constitution no as a president no refer dem offense chief justice no mu nso set up a committee na committee no enye nhwehwemu hwe se asem na anase nsem na amanfo eka efa sampanimfo no ho no hu behia se ye dwen ho na ye nyidadi anase sen enti ene no from the Ministry of Communication communication Honorable Felix Kwachu I confirm it say petitions beside them
yes
aba
yeah sure
and enti no president no so ebe refer the chief justice no so I set up the committee no enti yan how the whole thing will go say either say and say na amount for 7 different petitions and you obi can you na say ye be my kwan say you can about the chairperson or any the two deputies I mean did say obi be can the obi me one say be branke bia me kan fa no
why they put it in writing form
ba anya me ne me be kan wo ha ana ne wo be kan no na mom what is contained in petition any no chief justice edibede adwuma ba eno nso no esanso ye susu de ana say nhwe so de ma ye nyina say se wunya kwanya ebenya position bi ana say kwanya say besom o man a emfa ade no te say I say opa japade bi a odi ama ne wo ye no ne ye wo pe because okay chairperson ya ewo kurom ase no ye nyina ye ni how of fast wa conducting no eba even the voters register mpempi no ehun issue okoka enka ahu osori ana soldier for be 1000 edinachi ukoni fia soldier for atwa ho ahia what you say we mu na ye ma e bia me gidi say ujaya amanfo se be nka ho asman ka amanfo be ebe ba ye hwe how ebe fa so akọ
very well innocent.
Yeah, Debbie.
Yes.
I think I'm not surprised because in the middle of this year, Mahama kind of petitions are ready. Remove chief justice and remove the first EC boss. No, bag. I'm sure you remember.
Yeah, sure.
My net felt the way be a crank a bed doors watching the win and a chill. If I say Abrabo Bonia, J. Mensa and the team Abo say I'm almost so my for no and I'm almost so Emma. The first a constitutional crisis occasion in this country for 4 good years where a group of people, and we are Ghana for Japanese and Togolese, they lived in this country without a representation for 4 good years. That is the biggest constitutional injustice anybody can do. And that alone, no, enough grounds for their removal. Aside that, the belligerent poster and some foolish commentaries being run by people like your friend say Teteo Sawai.
And the
because
deputy,
an officer of an electoral commission, your friend say an umpire, a neutral arbiter, when away in charge of elections in this country, your temperament, your language, the wording, the construction should be something. I respect you, man, for,
yeah, sure.
But you don't speak in the tone. Critical stakeholders in their electoral enterprise. But Manasare infamous commenting on these people, say if they have a sense of shame, after they let one kasa pack your bag, but Akroma na ye no, sa Agyabeng ni party, and the who crop better now a deposition now, and that is what you have said. Toko no and then the Nimguasiaba, and then your friend saying entitlement and as for and Saka Biano, because I'm expecting Sanka by now, James and a boss man. Tito Kahono, Koma pack up my bag, because Utu anywhere 2020. The nonsense that occasion in this country, 2024, the near my course will and some near Guchin war court crying in year. And what about Pandai case? The judge is asking them to go and conduct free and fair election. It means the election was flouted with how do you call the elections? The integrity of your job, Rankasa, is questionable. We had elections in this country where we have to say, your best election from constituency. Jaba cry, and for between Westia, some party ne rap war, ne rap in the you see a declare, okay, a babo, because soldier for so, ya bore one on as a forum. We cannot live in the country and be asking some of this nonsense and pretend is because John Mahama were there and this is a majority, we should just let it go. We may go into another election and this thing will come up, and if you are not careful, we will wake up in a new dawn, a dawn of violence, a dawn of pandemonium, and what we don't want to. So for me, I think in as much somebody might think so, baby, there are certain things that you cannot forgive because these are crimes that have been committed. Because if you go to Central Fieni Salo Lubini and the people who were denied 4 years of representation, that was a deliberate orchestration by the electoral commissioners just to cut the people out so that the seat will be won by somebody. These are political shenanigans, machinations that these people, and this is the time, the day of reckoning and number. And it's a Obia Transcend one for money through a tradition, the Akoma president. Now, president in his wisdom, I forwarded to the Chief Justice. Chief Justice will not just say a petition, but no. He was also subjected to a critical scrutiny. And now, who said, admitted the threshold. I am at the petition. The petition is really competent. And I said, Otimia arrived on that by establishing the premier facility, and then a committee will be set up. So I think that Ghanaians will follow through. And for me, Kissi Agyabeng or Kahono. For me, my culture says, you see, you don't even need to waste time go through a removal of Kissi Agyabeng. Gaby, my culture said the office of the special prosecutor is a useless creation and a further burden on the taxpayer. First of all, it is not independent. That office has never been independent. And see, the intention for its creation was diabolic. Because when Akuffo decided to set up office of the special prosecutor, and then he saw a certain Martin Midu who was very angry, very peeved. So they realized, okay, let us tap into his anger, his bitterness, and use him against the NDC people. And I've known that Martin Midu is somebody of a higher conviction. The person who doesn't mean he will allow himself to be used. I know that we saw the back and forth between the president, and it resulted in the comment that came. Then subsequent to that, that was when this particular gentleman came up. And I told you, this whole thing now amount to nothing because office and Ankasa, the creation and Ankasa no any useful. So for me, the best thing that we can do now is to dissolve, cut the office out. Munja Kissi Agyabeng just cut the office out. Now you're making sure that resources be a will be no you from the AG department, and if possible, yanti AG department from Ministry of Justice. Now the two independent bodies. Now you're making sure that at the regional level, no, they are resource adequate because criminal cases you go buying so no. Two people sitting at the Attorney General cannot. But the special prosecutor is not helping because Obai mentioned one case that was fire successful. Cecilia Daparh or the soldier near my share the titties or call war Pakistan. Echo Rura near Mukutun in Niama, Eco Season. Your friends Legana Yadna Yoko, Bossy, Tiwa. The issues by a I know that they killed the issue using some tactics. I know that they should not die. And that is the player, Kissi Agyabeng and Niama. So for me, I don't have any beef with him. I don't care about whether he stays or not. Maybe the office in Ankasa occupy useless. We let us scrap and then let us focus on the AG and make sure that we resource them adequately to take up issues of prosecution because the next 4 years, the message that the government will have to justify to the people of this country is say criminals no more no more that is the only language they can understand. Anything nobody will take it. So prosecution is something indispensable and the government can do without it. So any faculty avenue be ready to do it seriously. No, that is why the investments might go because so when you go back to account to the people, you tell them say Akroma and then they've been accounted for, and I said they've been prosecuted. I say, okay, can you forget that, baby? Chroma across your back, no more, Papa and Komai. But this is the whole finance minister, and I was sitting at the center of the financial chain in this particular country. And then about one casa woman who Papa Kuru, they went to be member. And that I don't know forever and never. If it doesn't come, his children are going to suffer a block of mortification forever because you go to school, or class maybe catch us, oh Papa Kwasi. Where is America went to be a man. Now, Krano will not be able to obey in one because you didn't come. So I think that it is in his own interest, wherever he is. Nobody has pronounced him guilty, but he should come because now he has been declared as a fugitive who has fled justice in this particular country. He should come back, maybe we'll have a better explanation. And then, such a terrible state of affairs, Akuffo bequeathed to us as a country. And I can't say the track record there. It will forever be consigned to the dark pages of our political history. And generation will come learn. A certain Akuffo came as president, and he came and destroyed this country. And that record will forever will be back on him.
Mirasi. Minia Innocent, Ivan, Mirasi, for your time. Lucius, Maminasi, for your time. Now, of course, Yami Adoma next week. It's a good year promise. Say, Benya enough time.
Next week, Monya Motami.
Enough time for discussion. All right, see, you have a sorry about Maminya birthday. Quick one. I will have to say nothing. Yeah, sorry. So, first birthday air call, the Eastern Regional Chairman of the ND.
So, it will be how do my Ghana politics have been so I would say, Yankupon shop. It was for. So unlike here, like share, subscribe to the channel, no, but notification bell also. But I don't matter so. Send your political trending news. We are Ghana politics 7. You debate to be on. Also, what you penny say, for and yes, if we move it here, and I'm near to edit my dear way. I will Yankupon show be an aha and a Ghana politics 7. So a woman no send me from Akroma.